Hello, welcome back to Caught Above the Cut. So I'm in Lichfield, on the Lichfield Canal, which has been restored by the Lichfield and Haverton Canal Restoration Trust. Just behind me is the A38, and there's a bit of a problem. So the old route used to come across from the Darnford Ecology Park, which has been restored at the moment. It's come across the field. It used to run across under the Tamworth Road and then up into Locks 26 and onwards and follow the course of Tamworth Road. But the A38's here now. It's not possible to go there, as well as some other bits. They've had to divert the route slightly over at the Ecology Park. Lock 29 has moved, so the old one was in some woods. The new route means just after Darnford Lane, there's going to be Lock 29, which is going to bring it up and across the fields. And then we hit the A38. So the new route comes across and goes across into Danford Park, and they're going to have to build a box culvert under the A38. It's a big job. It's a busy road, dual carriageway. It's not impossible, as you can tell on the Cotswold canals. Strangely, on the A38, many miles away, couple of hours drive away, they built the roundabout basically over it with the two box culverts underneath. So a lot of work, but not impossible. And then we're into Darnford Park, and this is the trial dig. So it's obviously dug quite a while ago, as you can see, because there's a lot of trees growing up for it. So originally the old route ran, and locks 27 and 28 were lost, as well as two bridges. There's a fence panelling place and stuff in the way now as part of the reroutes that's coming across this side. So there's going to be a staircase lock here, two locks, so it's sort of like a double lock, which is going to take it back up and around and under the A51. There will be back pumping on there, I imagine, being new locks, which helps save water. So that's the A51 just ahead of us going over the bridge. You can see where there's a line in here. So this is going to be the top of the locks, and then it's going to be built underneath the main road there. So a little hop across the A51, and we are into the new line. So this is only actually a short bit of new line. In a second we'll go through to the back onto the old route. But this is where it's going to go through, and then sort of directly on the other side of that bridge there is where the lock's going to be. So just after I stop plank 10, we're into a winding hole, and then round the corner back onto the old line. So the Lichfield Canal itself wasn't originally known as that. It was part of the Wiley and Essington Canal, and is a section from Ogley Junction at Brown Hills on the Northern Birmingham Canal navigations to Huddlesford, which is up just on by the Lichfield Cruising Club, but that's on the Coventry Canal. So the original canal was built on an Act of Parliament from the 30th of April 1972, which, as I said, it was part of another canal run from Horsley Junction near Wolverhampton, and then up to Bloxwich, and it followed a 144 metre contour. In 1794, the company obtained a second act which allowed a long extension up to Brown Hills, again on the same level, but then descended through 30 locks. The whole canal was opened on the 9th of May 1797, although they had water problems to start with. These were solved in 1800 when they built the Cannock Chase Reservoir, and then we're into the locks up here. So the first lock here is lock 26. As I say, they're running up. So there's three locks here in total, 24, 25 and 26. They are restored, just need gates. As you can see, there's water in this section. So you can see how it's quite wide here as well. So this is effectively a pound. So probably heard me speak about them on other videos. You need a store of water between locks, otherwise you'll end up, one lock goes. If you just had a narrow canal above it, as soon as you drain the water out to drop down, or drain water out to lift up, you're going to empty the canal. So you have a store of water which has got enough to do, multiple locks full, and then it tops itself up as people come up and down the flights. So lock 25. Couple of ducks swimming through. quite close to Tamworth Road. You can see the channels here actually. So this is you know, spillways are done and bywashes are all done in very different ways. So that section's not full, so this is a channel now, just running along the side of the lock, down into here, look, so you've got a circular spillway. So the water comes up around the sides, goes over that little brick wall in the middle and down through the grates, and then washes out below the lock. So that's basically an overflow, a bywash, like a bypass. As a YouTuber, and I can call myself out now because I do earn money from it now, and as a hobbyist as well, I spend a lot of time watching stuff on canals, railways and stuff. You get some trusts that don't put a lot out and other trusts that put loads out. Lichfield put loads of info out. They've got loads of videos. Their YouTube page is excellent. They really informative videos, not just, oh, here's a lock, this is what we're going to do. They tell you how they're doing it, why they're doing it, what's going on. So I've been watching Lichfield for a little while, and I've wanted to come up here for a while. So what we do have now is Lock 24. I've seen loads on this. It's quite exciting to see it myself. So I call it Old Lock 24 because it can't actually be restored. So you need to get under Cricket Lane, and the best way to do that, rather than trying to build a bridge, because humpback bridges aren't really built anymore, the best way that they're going to achieve that is to go under it at a lower level. So Lock 24 doesn't exist, but it was partially restored. So it wasn't always a plan to lower the canal. There's lots of videos of a chap called Rick Walters here, and you might not be able to see it on this camera, but just on the end of the pillar there, 2022, Rick Walters. So he's building these piers out of reclaimed bricks. So the bricks came from, so you can see this is the side of the lock there, but the other side of the lock was here and carried on through. Obviously it's a narrow lock, so this was the original wall. Now that was knocked down because they've got to offset the canal. So you can see the like the cottage up on the side there. They needed to avoid that. The extension was built after the canal, so it's left them. You know, they can't go too close because there's a risk of the cottage collapsing. So this wall was knocked down. A new route was made. The brickwork has then been used to restore it. So all those pillars up there are done out of that old part of lock. There's some quite interesting bits about it as well. So like I say, this would have originally carried the canal up. Now it doesn't. They put an interesting little feature in. So you can see, well, first of all, you can see there, you can see where the gates would have sat. So that's the bottom of the lock. This wall here would have been slightly higher. And if you look further up, past the big pipe, you can see the blue stones on top of the wall kind of going up towards the cottage. So that was, and just in here as well, you can just see, just in that gap there, where there's the blue, that was the original where the gate would have been. But that blue bar going across the top is the old water level. So that was the old water level of the lock when it was full, right the way through there. So it's quite a cool feature they've done with those blue bars, just to kind of show you a little bit of what it was like. But it's quite nice here, it's landscaped and stuff. So the new channel's been built through, I assume using the bricks from the wall that was here. It doesn't have to be as thick as the old lock wall, because it's not carrying as much weight. And then reprofiled, and then this needs to be dug out. You have also got just here, this is the old bywash. So as I mentioned below, this would have been a pound, so you can see where it comes out wider, top and bottom. This whole section would have been a pound above the lock, with like a waiting wall and a bywash. So the bywash runs through the side, comes down through here, there's the overflow, and runs down a pipe on the side. Different to the last one we saw, but still a bywash. So this was actually restored previously. So in about 2016 it was done, and then the plans changed, and it actually became unneeded. So it's been changed slightly, and you've got the bricks up here. Here you can see where it's done, restored. Rick Walters again, 2016. And then I think it's on this side, he put a brick in. I can't go down there, so I'm just kind of dangling down from the top. There should be a new one there, which was, I think, was 2022 again. So lovely bit of brickwork. Would have been underwater, so it's a bit untidy. So from this, you know, the water level would have been on the towards higher up in that arch. So they asked them to tidy it up. So this like more orange brick is a more recent addition to make it look better. So the towpath's going to run across the bottom. They just wanted it to look nice. You can see the wall being built down in there. So you can also see the way it's being built. They're putting pillars in to support the weight basically behind it. So they're bricking up now, and there'll be pillar, and then there's obviously the pillars on the end. What I don't want to do is undermine the cottage, like I said. So it's probably not needed. It's probably strong enough with a wall there, but you know, better to hedge your bets and be safe on the matter. So this will all be dug out deeper. This would have, obviously the canal line would have been up to this level originally. You can see all the spoil and all the bricks and stuff, and they'll reuse what they can, clean them up. On from Cricket's Lane, following Tamworth Road again, we're into a new section which has been partially dug. It's not dug all the way, but it's partially dug. This is going into Gallows Wharf section. So Christmas 2021, there was 7 days here of quite significant earth moving. So earth was moved from here and taken up to Fossway Heath to create, to give soil there, basically to create the banks up there, as well as some of it went down to Darnford Moors as well. They moved quite a lot of soil. I think between 3,000 and 4,000 tonnes were moved in total. I think about 2,500 went up to the Fossway. I think the rest may have gone down to Darnford Moors. This was Duke of Edinburgh's as well, if I remember rightly from videos. Planting up there. You can see there's cuts out in places. They built a bund to try and separate the road from the canal, so you know the top isn't level. But in places they've left sections so the road can actually drain off into the canal. And there will be a lock behind us as well, so that would have replaced the previous lock which has been lowered. We've got Tamworth Road there and Longbridge Road just down through there in the housing estate. This is a public footpath. Canal's going to be here, so they need a bridge. So on the Christmas, I think it was just the one just gone, so it's 2022, there was a big Gib Christmas challenge where any donation was doubled, and that was to raise money for this bridge to join there. So what they're doing is they're doing a lift bridge similar to the bridge, actually based on the plans of the bridge down at Darnford Moors. Here we've got sheet piling as well, as you've seen in other places. And if you look on the sheet piling as well, you can see a bunch of names. So this is all the people that donated to the projects. It's quite a nice little touch. So the canal company themselves, they weren't that prosperous, but they did start paying dividends up to 6% in 1825. But the price of coal dropped significantly in Lichfield. On the 9th of February 1840, the whole canal became part of the Birmingham Canal Navigations, BCN. It was eventually abandoned in 1954. Most of the branches of the Wiley and Essington were closed. So we're just coming up to London Road now. See the old bridge here. We've also got the wharf on here, look. And then we're into what they call St John's section and the site of Lock 23. This will be another video though. So thank you for watching. Please do click that like and subscribe, click the bell button. Make sure you get on to Lichfield's page. You know, sign up as a member. They've got an excellent organisation here. You know, the trust is fantastic, doing loads of work. So please do support them.